Hi students, welcome back again to my next video, video 6. Continuation of previous video, there was a short break. We'll continue with the Coulomb's law. We learnt in the last class about Coulomb's law. Force between two charges directly proportional to product of magnitudes of charges inversely proportional to square of the distance between them. The constant of proportionality is given by 9 10 power 9 and the value depends on system of units chosen and medium. This much you know, right? Now it is time to define SI unit of charge. What is SI unit of charge? Remember, SI unit of charge is Coulomb. If you write full name, start with small c, you know, last year's rules of writing SI system of units. If I write the symbol accepted abbreviation, that is capital C, Coulomb SI unit. Now let us see what is 1 Coulomb. Let me see first the statement how 1 Coulomb is measured. Very simple. 1 Coulomb is a charge, some charge, which when placed near another identical charge at a distance of 1 meter, where? In air or vacuum. 1 meter in air or vacuum exerts a force of 9 10 power 9 Newton. Dear students, what is the meaning of this? There must be two charges. One this. I have charged this with 1 Coulomb charge, say. What is the meaning of 1 Coulomb? If I bring another identical charge which is also same in value, identical, same charge, same sign, what do they do? Repel, right? What is that force of repulsion? That must be 9 10 power 9. Right? It has been chosen as a requirement in the SI system of units. This much force must appear between the two. There are some reasons for that. Let us not talk about those reasons why this value of force has been chosen. Remember this much. This is 1 Coulomb charge. This is identical 1 Coulomb charge only. Separation is 1 meter in air or vacuum. Then what is the force? Force will be 9 10 power 9. Repulsion 9 10 power 9 is a huge value, very big value. Students, I'll give an idea how much is this in terms of force. See this? There is a dumbbell about 9 kg, say, right? I have balanced the weight 9 kg by my hand like this, right? It's trying to fall, but I don't allow it to fall. So I applied a force up. How much? The force applied by this weight on my hand. How much force? It is 9 kg. That's why nearly how much force? Nearly 9 kg. What is weight? Now last year's Newton's law of gravity. What is weight? W equals to mg. You know the value of g. M is around 9 kg. This is around 10. G value nearly 9.8, nearly 10. So what is total value? 90. This 90. Now compare these two. If you compare these two, what is the force between two charges? 1 Coulomb in 1 meter, separation 9 10 power 9. This is 90 Newton. This is 9 10 power 9 Newton. Compare these two, the values. Now to make it 90, what should I do? Out of 9 tens, there are 9 tens. I take 1 10 here, becomes 90. 90 10 power. Since I have taken 110 here, remaining 8, right? 10 power 8 means 10 crore. Therefore, this is 90 crore Newton. 90 crore Newton. This is 90 Newton. This is 90 crore Newton. So, must be huge. The force between these two, 1 Newton charges, huge value, very huge. So, 1 Newton, 1 Coulomb must be a large value. How big is it? I'll tell you. Before that, I'll come to this term K Q1 Q2 divided by R square. How did I get this value? If I put Q1 equals to Q2, 1 Coulomb, and R equals to 1 meter, then the value of force F equals to K according to this. If I put Q1, Q21, R1, the total term becomes 1. Therefore, F equals to K. What is K value? 9 10 power 9. This is how I got this value of force between two 1 coulomb. Such a big value. How big is it? How big is it? I'll explain you. Now, just very simple. How big? It is about 90 crore Newton. Now, the value of 1 coulomb in terms of number of electrons, I'll show you. Number of electrons, remember this important term, number of electrons. Henceforth I write for electrons E minus, yes sir, you understand it as electrons. Number of electrons in 1 coulomb charge. Very simple. All of us know, in the previous videos I explained you the value of charge, value of electronic charge, value of charge of E minus electron is denoted by E minus 1.6 10 power minus 19 coulomb. Let us leave the nature, just consider magnitude of E. Now solve for 1 coulomb. Can I write this way? 1.6 10 power minus 19 into 1 coulomb, right? You retain 1 coulomb there only, bring this here. So 1 coulomb equals to 1 E electronic charge divided by 1.6 10 power minus 19. So this term comes to numerator, it becomes 0.625 into 10 to the power plus 19. I showed you in a simple problem previous video 4. Do it again. And finally, if we shift one place, it becomes 6.25 10 to the power 18. What is that? Times electronic charge. Therefore, students, 1 coulomb is equivalent to how many? As many as 6.25 10 power 18 electrons. 18 electrons, a huge value. See the number 10 power 18. If you start counting this number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 up to 10 power 18, you will die half the way. You have to take so many rebirths just to complete counting this number. Such a big value. In terms of the number of electrons, 1 coulomb is 6.25 10 power 18. That's why sometimes we use micro coulomb, nano coulomb, pico coulomb, nano 10 power minus 9, micro 10 power minus 6, pico 10 power minus 12, like that we use. Coulomb such a big value for our day-to-day life activities. The effects produced by charge, to deal with them, we need a big value. What is 1 coulomb? Remember, 1 coulomb is a charge which is placed near another identical in air or vacuum with a separation 1 meter. Produce a force between them. Value 9 10 power 9. Big value. I showed you. So in terms of number of electrons, 6.25 10 power 18. 10 power 18. This is the students, we learned what is 1 coulomb, how much is 1 coulomb in terms of number of electrons. Now it is time to introduce another new idea, that is relative permittivity or dielectric constant. Actually, it has been discussed later on in our NCERT book. In the same topic, he says towards the end of this topic, that is Coulomb's law and unit of charge, other aspects, he says at the end, electric force affected by medium, there is a constant for that. We will discuss that later on, effect of medium. But all the relations we wrote regarding Coulomb's law, or we will be writing in terms of K 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught used. Whenever you see epsilon naught, this is for air or vacuum. But if you go to medium, is really force affected? Yes, very simple. I will try to show that a simple experiment here. See, this is a straw, right? Straw plastic. If I write plastic with wool, cat's fur, it gets charged. Which type of charges? Recall? Yes, negative charge. And this also plastic straw. Now these are very close to each other. I will charge one. You know how to charge. If I rub this, it gets charged, right? This is wool, cat's fur, right? I'm rubbing, this gets charged. We have done this several times. So see, they stick each other. They stick each other. Now I'll rub it. The second one. If I rub more effect can be seen. Very simple. See, these two are. See the separation. Can you see in the camera, right? Okay. These two are moving away from each other. See, it's coming towards my hand. Finger. See, this is a copper plate, a metal. I am introducing the medium between these two straws which are repelling each other. See what happens? Observe closely in the camera, right? Yeah. See, they are coming closer, right? They are coming closer to each other. Totally, the medium, conducting medium, is affecting the force. They are coming closer, right? They are coming closer. Can you see? They are coming closer, right? The separation is decreasing. Means the presence of another medium affects the force between these two. I will explain you once again by writing a simple diagram. See here. This is what I explained you. These two are straws hanging down, right? Hanging down initially. Case number one. Next time what did I do? I charged them by rubbing, right? Like this. They moved away from each other. Now these two are charged, repulsion. Next time what happened? Next time when I introduced a medium, conducting medium, they came together, very close to each other. Even got stuck because of the charge induction. That's one thing. But they came close to each other. The separation decreased again due to the presence of sheet, conducting medium. If you introduce a medium, the separation decreases. Means what? The force being affected in the presence of another medium. Right? Understood? That's why we define a relative permittivity or dielectric constant. Students, let us suppose this way. Suppose in air or vacuum, the force between two charges. What is force? Force F equals to, for air or vacuum, I write FA. Subscript A implies FA, that is equal to 1 over 4 pi epsilon, not right, Q1, Q2 divided by R square. For the same two charges, same separation, I introduce a medium, material medium, for the same two charges, same separation, force is different. That's what you saw there. That's why I write Fm. M means medium. So force changes, charges same, Q1 same, no change, Q2 same, and R square also same. 4 pi is a constant, you know. That's why 4 pi also same, but force changes. That's why we change this value. We denote by epsilon. That's it, epsilon. Is epsilon not? Epsilon. Why we change this symbol? Means I remove this 0 to tell you this is force in medium. Same two charges, same separation, force in medium. Now epsilon or k. If I use epsilon or k, how do you read? Relative permittivity or ratio. Now is or ratio of force in air or vacuum short form, to that force that in medium, between same two charges, same charges with same separation short form. I am writing like this to save time, video recording time, right? Now if I write that ratio epsilon or k, it becomes FA divided by FM. Now if you write the expressions, what is FA? 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught. Q1 Q2 divided by R square divided by 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 divided by R square. This is epsilon. For medium, epsilon. This is epsilon 0. So this term gone. 4 pi gone. That's it. Now you are left with epsilon r or k is equal to, this term goes to numerator, this term goes to numerator, the value epsilon divided by epsilon naught, and this ratio is epsilon r. Whenever I use the word epsilon r, what do you write? Epsilon by epsilon naught, or sometimes we use this. What is epsilon? If I bring this to left side, epsilon naught into k, or epsilon naught into epsilon r symbol. You can write this or write this. Therefore, the force in medium now becomes 1 over 4 pi epsilon. Instead of epsilon, what do you write? For epsilon naught into k, or epsilon naught into epsilon r. You can write epsilon r also. Q1, Q2 divided by r squared. This is how we modify a little bit. Why? Because force, electrical force depends on medium. That medium dependency has been explained in terms of epsilon r or k. That is epsilon by epsilon naught, or better you understand this way. What is epsilon r? Means dielectric constant. Very simple, dear students. It is a force in air to that in medium between same two charges separated by same distance. Very simple, right? Very important. You have to remember this. Right. Next we will continue with the Coulomb's form in vector notation. Coulomb's law in vector notation, because force is a vector quantity. We will come to that point next time. Now, dear students, you have learned Coulomb's law. What is Coulomb's law expression? Coulomb's law expression is F equals to 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 divided by r squared. Whenever I use the word Coulomb's law, you should get this in your mind. Whenever you see epsilon naught, this is for air or vacuum. Right? Now, all of you learned last year what are vectors, what are scalars. Let us recall now. What are vectors? The quantities which require direction for their complete specification. And what are scalars? Scalars, the quantities which require only magnitude for the complete specification. Force is something which requires direction also for its complete explanation. We are dealing with Coulomb's law, which deals with electrical force. That's why we need to assign direction between two charges. That's why we discuss now Coulomb's law in vector form. Students, let us suppose this way. This is a charge Q1, symbol for charge is Q, remember. I consider another charge. Students, always whenever I use the word charge, may be positive or negative, should come in your mind always. May be positive or negative, both may be like or unlike. For all the situations, we need one expression. We are writing that. Let us suppose the separation between the charges R. This is what we did in the last discussions, right? Now we have to write some subscripts for the terms F, R, in order to specify direction. Force on which? By which? Q1 on Q2 or Q2 on Q1. Like that we have to specify. That's it. That's what I mean by Coulomb's law in vector form. Now let us suppose this way. In this example, in this explanation, whenever I write F, you think force. If I write F1, 2, that's it, force only. But I am specifying on which, that is 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught, same expression. Q1, Q2, no change, divided by R, that is also same. But you just change the subscript, that is R12, F12, R12. To write direction in vectors, you learnt last year. What is that? R12 cap. R12 cap. What is this cap? Unit vector. So how do you write vector? Writing like this, right? So we use subscripts. Whenever I use subscripts, you have to think like this. Let me write here F12. What is F12? Whenever I write F12, you think force on Q1 by Q2. Force on Q1 by Q2. And if I write R12, if I write R12, it is position vector. Position vector means showing the position of a particle. Position vector to Q1 from which charge? Q2. If I write this together, you think force experiencing charge is Q1, force exerting charge is Q2. Force by Q2 on Q1. That's it. And if I write R12 cap, how do you read it? Unit vector to same, determines same. Unit vector to Q1 from Q2. That's it. Very simple. Now we'll write one more here. That's another thing. What is that? Very simple. Right here. What is, once again you see, what is F12? Force on Q1 by Q2. For force as a vector quantity, you have to write arrow over this. In your NCERT book, they have used bold-faced letters. Bold-faced means they have written F sometimes like this. This is just F. If I write like this, this is vector F, bold letter. They are not use this arrow. Let us use arrow. We can write now easily. So F12 is force on Q1 by Q2. R12 position vector to Q1 from Q2, and R12 unit vector to Q1 from Q2. Then vector form of Coulomb's law. Vector form of Coulomb's law is this, very simple. F12 is 1 over 4 pi epsilon Q1 Q2 by R12 cap. What is this, students? Very simple. See, I am standing here. I am showing the direction. There, force is acting there like that. There, I show like this. See, I write unit vector this side. What is that? R, showing the direction to 1 from which charge? 2. To show direction, we use unit vector. Just cap, direction, that's it. So you write force here. If I write force this way, is force on Q1, that is 1 by 2, like this. Similarly, if I write force on Q2 by Q1, similarly, if I write force on Q2 by Q1, I must write this way. That is F2, force on Q2 by Q1. In that case, the position vector sees the charge Q2. I write R21 like this. Very simple. Distance remains the same. Therefore, similarly, write this way. Similarly, force on Q2 by Q1. Force on Q2 by Q1 denoted by F21. Then how do I write F21? F21 is very simple, students. F12, R12, R cap 12. Remaining things same. 1 over 4 pi epsilon Q1 Q2. Therefore, come on, help me out here. 1 over S 4 pi epsilon naught. When I am explaining, you have to repeat looking at the video. Remember, Q1 Q2 divided by, this is R, 2 1. What is 2 1? Force on 2 by 1 is position vector to Q2 from Q1 and position vector to 2 from 1. That's it. Very simple. 2 1 2 1 2 1. 2 1 2 1 2 1. That's it. When you are using just value, just leave this. F equals to 1 over 4 pi epsilon Q1 Q2 by R. Remember, square you have to write. Square q1 q2 by r12 square, q1 q2 by r21 square, like that. So if I write r21, how do you read? S, position vector to which charge? S, charge q2 from q1. Very good. Similarly, if I write r21 only, but cap, this is just direction. What is this? Unit vector to q2 from q1. That's it. That's the same story here. Understood? This is Coulomb's law vector form. Very useful, very important. So it may be a 2 mass question. Put a star in your notes. We have to be keeping notes with you. You put a star, 2 marks question in the board examination. Coulomb's law in vector form. Today we have learned 2 to 3 marks questions. That's it. One is statement of Coulomb's law. State and explain. Explanation you have to write. Follow the notes I have given. Inside the book also you can refer. And SI unit of charge. Definition of charge Coulomb. And also how many electrons make 1 Coulomb charge. And Coulomb's law in vector form. Very simple. Coulomb's law, you know, 1 over 4 pi epsilon q1 q2 by r square. Just for r square you write r12 square. F12 r12 r12 cap. That's it. Here F21 1 over 4 pi epsilon q1 q2 by r21 r21. 21 means force on 2 by 1. R21 means position vector to 2, second charge from first charge. That's it. This is how we have to understand. It's a very important thing. You just follow this. The rest of the discussions we will see in the next class. Continue.